So the next tool we're going to talk about, this is one of my favorite tools, and I would love to talk about it, but Analeisa is also passionate about it. So I'm going to let her take the stage and share what a 411 tool is. So there's a lot of people in real estate, certainly a lot of people outside of real estate, that are like, what the heck is a 411 tool? What are you talking about? Isn't that the number you call back in the old days when you needed like, what is a 411 tool? So can you explain to everybody, before I put it up, just what's the gist of a 411 tool?
So the 411 to me, and I mean the what it's used for is so that you can have annual goals broken down to monthly goals, and then every week of the month. And it's on paper, it's very visual, it's easy to update, it keeps you on track. That's why I personally love it. I think it's very different to have a goal in your head, but to put it on paper and to print that thing out and to put it in your workspace, or to put it like I do on my nightstand and look at it every night when I go to bed and every morning when I wake up, like that's commitment right there.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I love this tool, is because it makes it very visual for you to see.
So the idea is you pick your annual goals, and that's part of why you want to start thinking about it now. I remember the first time Hara was like, what do you want to accomplish next year? I mean, it took me a good probably 2 to 3 hours because my brain was just exploding with, I've never thought this way. And so what you want to do is sit down and think through, what do you want to accomplish in the next year? And I'll give you some common categories, and then I'll pull up Analeisa's 411 for us to look at. Common categories are business. So what do you want to accomplish in your business life in the next year? You also have personal. So for me, that's things like, I was working on mine today, actually. I put down 208 podcasts next year in 2019. And it's because I'm a huge podcast listener for my personal growth, and I want to listen to at least 4 a week. 4 times 52 is 208. So on my annual goal, it says 208 podcasts. Because if I'm doing that, it's going to keep me on track. You could have health goals on there. Financial goals is another category that's very common. And really just come up with 4 categories of your life that you want to work on over the next year, and think through, okay, it's a year from now, I've had the best year I've ever had. What did I accomplish? And that goes on that top line. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share yours, Analeisa.
Okay.
Perfect. And Analeisa is a big achiever, so she has 5 categories instead of 4. So why don't you walk us through how you use this tool?
Okay.
I know nothing.
Yeah, totally. All right. So you can see the top there what my categories are. So the very first one, that's your job. So mine is coaching. If you're an agent, it could say your agent business. If you're an ISA, it could say your ISA business, whatever the flavor is. That's mine is coaching. The next one over is our financial goals. And my husband is a very big part of this. So this has to do really with our family finances. Obviously the next one is for Steven and the kids. The next one is just for me, like that. All of this 411 is about me, but there are things like that I want to do personally or professionally that I just felt like I needed to break out. And then family and friends is my final category there. So you can see there across the top, I have my annual goals. I'm not going to read through all of them, but, I want 40 clients by the end of the year. We want to be debt free. I want to have intentional time with Steven, with my kids, whatever you want to look back on. Like Anna was saying, over the last 12 months, this has been the best 12 months. This is how I came up with my annual goals. What do I want to be said on December 31st that made 2018 the best year yet?
Yeah. I just have a question for you. When you did that and you sat down and started working on it, what was your process? Was it like I sit down and figure this out all in one day, or I give myself a couple of weeks? Just what is your process?
So good question. That book that I referenced, the Living Forward. Yes. So every year I try to take a day, hasn't happened yet for this year, but I try to take a day to get out of the house, get away from everybody that I know, in a quiet spot, somewhere enjoyable, like, the Grove Park Spa. And
I need to go in the 411.
And like look through my life plan. So, again, going back to what do I want said about me at the end of my life, and what does that mean I need to do this year? So taking a whole day to plan out a year is my process. You know, and it doesn't have to look like that. It's not going to look like that for me this year just because of logistics sake. But, you know, I have on my 411 actually for this week to start planning 2019. So I'm going to spend 2 dedicated hours looking back to say, here's what I accomplished this year. Here's what I need to do next year so that by the end of my life, you know, I'm working towards those things that I want to be.
So the point is, get away. If you need to do it in an hour chunk here and an hour chunk there, that's fine. If you can do a whole day, that's great. But you definitely, this isn't just going to happen as you're driving in the car. I mean, you're going to need to sit down and really brainstorm and think. It will be well worth your time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me get your 411 back up there and talk to us about this month line.
Okay, so the month is, again, it's obvious. That's what I need to accomplish this month. And they're bigger. They're not broken down super small. I want to have, you know, I want to listen to 4 podcasts a week. That's pretty small. But you know, like I want to lose 5 pounds this month. I got baby weight to get rid of. Like that's on there. I want to go on a ladies retreat with church. You know, those types of things. Like as I look ahead at the end of one month to the next month, I go through the calendar, I see what's happening, and then I look back on my annual goals and say, all right, if I want 40 clients by the end of this year, I'm at 33. How many do I need to add this month? We've got September, October, November, December left. You know, so divide that out and decide how many you need to add, how many transactions you need to close, how many new clients you need to take, whatever it is. That's what goes in the monthly categories there. And then taking that down week by week. So that's how I break down the month. So if I want to add, you know, if I want to add 2 new clients this month, that means I got to do some prospecting. So you can see that's added on there, how like literally how many minutes I'm going to prospect this week. You know, I have on there that I want to read to Elliot, my son, every single day. So that's, you know, that's a monthly goal. So I have it down there under the weeks to read to EGL daily.
I love it. But guys, that's what you put on here is you got to get super specific is what are you reading? Because the more specific you are, the more likely it is to happen.
So true. It's so true. Yeah. So that's how you just, you know, take your annual goal, break it down every month, and then break down the monthly goals into the week. And then it's your plan. It's how you need to move forward in order to accomplish the goals that you've set for yourself.
Yeah.